Welcome to Conscious Living Collective, transformative journey in consciousness with a community of like-minded people. My name is Tomek. I'm a scientist, teacher here on Inside Timer, and transformational coach. The purpose of this session is to blend the latest in scientific research, the deep wisdom of mindfulness, and the art of fulfilled living. As always, this is an invitation for you to have your own first-hand direct experience and to emerge on the other side with renewed sense of purpose and well-being. Welcome to session of Conscious Living Collective. Very good to see you here. I'm so glad to see all the familiar faces. As always, the beginning, I want to acknowledge members of my Patreon program who are basically foundational, create a foundation for these sessions of Conscious Living Collective. Because we've been meeting with most of you for many, many years, and you've been coming here also for many years. So, hello, Austin. Hello, V. Hello, Diane. I'm just looking at the icons underneath. Hello, Carmela. Very good to see you here. And I also want to welcome those of you who are coming here on a regular basis. I do recognize your faces. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Rachel. Oz is here. Oh, hello, Vanessa. Hello, Anne from Brisbane. Good to see you here. As you see, I always spend some time. Hello, Susie from British Columbia. I always spend some time acknowledging your presence here because Conscious Living Collective is only possible with the collective. It is a collective experience, and the extent of your experience is the collective experience of everybody else who gathers in front of the screen virtually. And as much as you may believe or not believe that your experience is influenced by everybody else who's here, the research is very clear. And the research was done by HeartMath Institute and many others, showing that if we gather together in one soul, so to speak, spirit, your biology, your biochemistry changes, your heart rhythm changes, your nervous system adapts in a way that we do not fully understand. We call it cardiac coherence. And that reflects the state of your brain, state of your heart, and as a result, state of your entire body and every single system. And we do not understand fully the mechanism of it because science, as much as the advancements on science can explain a lot of things, I think we are still on not understanding way more than we understand. And particularly that relates to the non-physical aspects of our world. The physical aspect, science mostly focuses on the physical aspect, what you see, what you can touch, what you can measure. But the phenomenon that of your own experience is mostly ignored because it cannot be reproduced in a way that can be monetized, for lack of better words. Who else is we have here? Oh, hello, Nancy. So as always, oh, hello, Tosca. Very good to see you here. So I always invite you at the beginning of the session to introduce yourself, to say, particularly if you're here coming for the first time, then I extend my intro a bit to include you in the conversation in our Conscious Living Collective, simply because that enhances our experience. I am here maybe sounding like a broken record, but what I found in my practice, and that's kind of a topic of today, that the quality of our perception is not because we don't know things. The number of books I have read, the content I browsed through and I understood at some point is vast. But how much of it I have forgotten, it's great too. So we continuously coming on a weekly basis to Conscious Living Collective, not because I am going to say something revolutionary, but I may say something that will elicit a revolutionary insight in you. And that's why collective is so important, many different minds coming together, supporting each other in order to remember things that have already been there. Whether it's a science, whether it's your own experience, we are not going through anything new per se. We are remembering things that has already happened in one way or another. But that remembering, it's so tremendously important. And today we will be talking about awareness and remembering, as a matter of fact, that we are awareness in the first place and always has been. We may have not been consciously present in awareness. But as I tried to say over the past 3 weeks, awareness is the foundation of all our experiences. There's no experience without awareness. Things might be happening in the background, things that are important. But if you are not aware of them, they will pass you by unnoticed. And that applies to both the positive and negative experiences. And obviously, there's another question, how we perceive positive and negative, because what's maybe positive for one person, it's negative for other. I always give an example of rain. You know, if you are a farmer who's been expecting during drought, expecting rainfall to help his crops, the rain might be a wonderful experience. If you're on holiday on the beach, the rain falls, it's suddenly a negative experience. That's obviously a very trivial example of positive and negative. But I think the point of it is that it is our perception. It is our awareness who decides what's important. And for those of you who've been listening to Conscious Living Collective over the past couple of weeks, you know I used a metaphor of the Matrix, of the movie Matrix. And in the movie Matrix, we have the character called Neo, who at first is only aware of his immediate reality, what we call Matrix. His perception, his job, his struggle, he's trying to make it in the world. Hello, Karen. But at the background of that experience of the Matrix, there's a nudge. There's something that does not allow him to sleep. A sense that there's something more behind the scene, so to speak. And as we know from the movie, he eventually wakes up to the reality, recognizing that his daily experience until the moment of awakening was just an illusion, was something that was created as a result of, in the movie, it's perceived as a result of machines creating a reality for us. But the reason I'm using it as a metaphor, because the reality as we perceive it, and I want you to take a look at your own experiences right now. What is really new about what you know and what you experience? Is it something that happens for the first time on the scale of a community, of your nation, of your society? Or has it already happened at some point? And as such is embedded in the fabric of the conscious awareness. And what is happening right now, you just relive it from your own unique and wonderful perspective. How does it feel to you? One thing I can say for certain, whatever happens in this very moment, as I speak these words, feels very personal, because you experience this very moment through the unique perception of your awareness that it is a composite of something underlying, which is awareness we talk about, in your personal experience. It is dictated, drawn, and painted by what has already happened. And If you listened to me before, you know this is the part where your mind and brain comes into place. Your brain as a absolutely wonderful tool of predicting your reality based on the past experiences, anticipating what is going to happen based on the past experiences. Whether that anticipation and prediction of the future is true or not, it's absolutely not important. And science is very clear. Many research has shown that we are not interested about the truth. We are interested about continuation of our story. And if you listen to previous sessions of Conscious Living Collective, we covered that ground a lot because it is so important to recognize that the story that you're living is not always representation of the truth, but it is indeed a personal preference. And this is something that it's very difficult to understand, particularly in the moments when we struggle, when we feel challenged, when we want things be our way, where we want to be right. And that's why today's session is about importance of being able to, even momentarily, get out of the matrix of our experiences, stand back and recognize that all our experiences are a projection of many different things, many of which are not so obvious, most of which, vast majority of which, were not created by us personally, individually, but were given to us through our upbringing, through our culture, through our society, through your immediate circles. And when we come, and that's very intellectual level, but level with me here. When we consider this and try to understand this, the approach to particularly those challenging times, because I know many of you gather here to ease your suffering, trying to understand the life better so you feel more fulfilled. And I'm one of you. I'm no different. I'm trying to understand this reality better so I can live my life in a way that is more fulfilling, more joyful. I understand that. And this is a solution that, again, I did not come up with, by the way. I'm not coming up with concepts that are drastically original in any sense. These are concepts that I firstly read about, then I experienced them, and now I speak about them because I find them absolutely fundamental to how we move forward with our lives. And that is that if you, and I briefly mentioned that in our last session, when you regain that perspective, fundamental perspective of awareness from which all your experiences, all your thoughts, all your emotions, everything that happens to you is a projection, like Neo stepping out of the matrix and coming back to it, your life shifts. You observe quantitative and qualitative difference of how you experience everything. And particularly when it comes to challenges. And I can speak for myself, and I give a couple of personal examples. It becomes qualitatively and quantitatively easier to approach certain things. I'm going to read a comment from Sue because I think it's important. There's always that critical voice in my head that says, what if this all there is? What if I get my hopes up about this human experience? It's just that and there is nothing more. This is a great place to start, Sue. And I thank you for that comment because we all must start here. We cannot just read a wise book. and change our life. We cannot listen, I always say. Even when you listen to join the session of Conscious Living Collective and spend some time with us, your life automatically does not become better. You are the active ingredient who is directing your awareness, and I will speak about it in a second, why this is so important to train yourself in awareness. You ultimately are the only one who has the ability to direct the awareness. Nobody else can do it for you. Nobody else. And I understand that to some of you, this might be discouraging. That, oh my goodness, I'm on my own in this. And to some of you, it may be empowering. Depends on the point of view. To some of you, you may realize, and that's what happened, by the way, to Neo and Matrix. He realized not Morpheus, not Trinity, not a single member of his crew was responsible for his destiny. He was shaping his destiny. Even who was that character who played, who knew the future. Even she couldn't predict his future. The Oracle. Even the one person that knew what's in the future was not able to tell him how to direct his awareness and how to direct his actions. Only he could figure it out. And in a sense, this is exactly what happens to us. Regardless of the struggles we're going through, regardless of what we're surrounded with, in this very moment is the only time when you can direct the awareness. I very often use in my meditations something that is so true. You cannot breathe in the past. Neither you can breathe in the future. You can only breathe in this very moment. And that very principle applies to awareness. You cannot be aware in the past. You cannot be aware in the future. The action of awareness applies only, exclusively to this very moment. And that's why it is so important to spend your time, to train yourself in the art of the present moment, to keep your awareness, keep your point of power in here and now. Not because this is fundamentally the only thing you can do, but that training leads to a fundamental shift how you make your decisions about your thoughts, about your emotions, and every single decision that happened to you in your life. You become, in a nutshell, we have in Polish language, you've become the blacksmith of your own destiny. You've got that hammer, that is your awareness. You've got the anvil, and you shape it the way you want it. In the absence of awareness, you'll be fine. Your body will function beautifully. Your organs will perform its function, your circulation, your nervous system, they all will go because they have own wonderful intelligence. Thanks for that. But what you will be guided by, it's mere instincts. And those instincts, again, very well researched, are not different to any other creature on this planet. Your dog, cat, an animal, every single creature is guided by the same instinct of survival. The only thing that is important on the fundamental level of your physical body is survival and reproduction, obviously, as a result of it. But we have established, if you are here, you clearly established that you are not satisfied with the default mode. You have at least a sense somewhere deep within you that there is more I can do with my life. And when I say with my life, and this is the transition, something I can do with my awareness. To be more precise, there's something more I can do directing my awareness. Because when you learn to direct your awareness away from the things that cause you harm, towards the things that attributing to your daily well-being, that's where you will go. You will stumble upon, you will make mistakes, and that's absolutely fine. Our experience is not just going just from one high to another. Our experience is that of every pilgrim. You start walking, making decisions to your best ability, and then you iterate. Then you adapt. Then you change your decisions based on what is happening around you. But this is only possible if you make those decisions. And it happened that for many of us, it seems at least, that so many decisions are being made for us. I'm not oblivious to how politics works, how economics works. But who created this system? You always say, it's very easy to say, I am part of the system. Some people may say, particularly when you're experiencing difficulties with your health, well, this is me. And this is very true. In the same way as you are part of the social economical system, your circumstances, you are part of your body. You only have your body at your disposal. And you can make only decisions. There are limitations, obviously. But that's why we intelligent people, that's why I figured out how to communicate over long distance. That's why I can communicate with you, even though most of you are on the other side of the world. There's a different day, for crying out loud, for those of you who tune in from the US. You're in a different time zone, and we communicate right now. This didn't happen because we accepted our limitations. This did not happen because we were complaining about our upbringing, that the president does this or that the governing bodies are doing this or that. This happened because a conviction that there's a more to this life. And now using this, it's an obviously simple example, this wonderful technology to connect, to be more aware, to be part of conscious living collective. And the question ultimately that will help you live more fulfilled life, help us to feel more fulfilled life, is to making more of these choices that enhance your well-being, that make you feel more fulfilled. And this is another part of the conscious awareness, that on the level of the instinct, you can have only one plane of decision: survival, procreation, pleasure, instant gratification, if I may add to it. And only when you choose consciously, and that doesn't come without the effort, by the way, it's simple but not easy very often, to tune in, then you get an access to much deeper level of understanding. In the same way, coming back to the metaphor of Neo, you had to take tough choices in order to get out of the matrix. But when he did, and when you do choose in every morning meditation, afternoon meditation, any moment of your day, to come back, I'm going to use metaphor, to yourself. By self, I mean conscious awareness. You give yourself much greater range of choices. Choices that are not based on instincts, but on something who you truly are. And that's where the uniqueness of you comes to shine. It's not because you are male, female, black, white, color of the skin, shape of your skull, you are attractive, not attractive, not all that superficial, I want to use scientific term, crap. Nothing superficial about it. You allowing yourself with effort that is well worth it to go inside and finally inform your decisions with something that lies beyond everything that you learned or you've been taught that is important. And I don't have to tell you that this is important, because if it wasn't important for you, you would not be here sitting with me here in front of your screen on Inside Timer. I do not believe that Inside Timer is yet another YouTube or social media where people come to simply receive another instant gratification. It may be to some extent, but there is that deeper underlying need to seek, as Neo did, answers, understanding that lies beyond what you already know, beyond your upbringing, beyond what you were, the environment you were put in. And that's where transformation happens, that all the innovation happens. It's easy to talk about the technological advancements because we think these technological advancements are defining our culture and our current state of the world. But when we start tapping into awareness, we all of a sudden get access to the technology, and I'm using these words very carefully, technology that is way beyond what we currently have in the physical world. And there are many traditions that were describing this technology in practice, starting with Hermetics, starting with HeartMath Institute, Rob Monroe, who discovered that we are much more than our physical body. We are much more than this physical reality. And that's where you find that this reality is just the epidermis of our experience. There's so much more to it. When you start coming from the place where it's so much more true than your personality, your past experiences, your upbringing, the state of your bank account, and so on and so forth, that consume most of our daily attention. But that comes with an effort. That comes with a decision that this is important. Because if you find that this is not important, that it doesn't matter. You will continue at some point, and I'm going to use the reference to Matrix again. I don't know. I hope that most of you watched it. Neo is offered a choice, by the way. Neo is not being dragged out of the Matrix. Neo is offered a choice by Morpheus, and he says specifically, the choice is yours. There's a blue pill and there's a red pill. If you take one, you get out of the Matrix, find out for yourself. It's going to be tough, but you're going to find out. Take the other pill. You wake up this morning, you won't remember anything, you just continue as we are. And that process of forgetting who we are started, by the way, with our conception. There's a reason why we forget. I don't want to get into details of it, but without the forgetting, we would be able to go through our life. If you remember every single trauma that happened to you right now, you'd be definitely, all of us would be very depressed. But our ability to forget actually helps us to start fresh, right? But coming back to that conscious awareness, why it's so important to train yourself on a daily basis in the art of staying aware of what is happening. And as we will do in just a moment, going consciously and deeply into with kind of not discarding, tuning out our physical senses to go and stay there. That's why it's so important. That's why, as Neo did, the result of being in awareness is a more peaceful, more calm existence in the matrix, in our current world, because you understand what you see, your thoughts, your emotions. I repeat myself, but I repeat myself for a reason. All these things are not of your own making. These are forms at your disposal that you can manipulate. So it's not the important what the thought forms are, but your unique ability to manipulate them. And when you learn to manipulate them, which can happen from the level of awareness, that's where you get up every morning excited because you have a playground at your disposal. And all these financial problems, health problems, relationship problems, they all become challenges that you are willing to embrace. And if you want to evidence whether that's worth it, go to the library and choose any book on finance, on relationships, on health, and there'll be hundreds of them, how people get empowered through going through the challenges and embracing them, right? From zero to hero. I do not believe that getting first $1 million makes you a better person, but I think that using your awareness consciously to create anything that is difficult will change you in a significant way. I think health problems are much more, it's a better example here. People who experienced, healed themselves from cancer by dramatically changing the actions. They start understanding I wasn't at the mercy of the doctors in the hospital, chemotherapy. It was always up to me. So many of these stories, right? But today, I do not invite you to believe me, to go to the library and pick up yet another book that's going to reaffirm that other people could do it. I invite you to find out for yourself to what extent you can do it. Because that's what Conscious Living Collective is about. It's not about me giving you examples of all the success stories. My job is to allow you experience your own success story. And I know it sounds, when I say these words, it sounds somewhat gimmicky, but it's true. We are one ultimate success story. That's the purpose. That's the recognition that each and every one of us has to come up on their own, but in the company of like-minded people. Based on my dashboard, it says 84 people got it together, and that's already power. Feeling supported by 80 people, if you think about it, hanging out with 80 people, I feel certainly encouraged myself. I feel not alone. On some level, I feel the support. I know that so many of you understand what I'm saying. I know that so many of you, not that you agree with me, there's nothing to do with agreeing with me or not. It's about that you are willing to come that path, to walk that path that is yours and yours alone. And however you might see, there's a Tomek next to my side, and there is a Sarah on the left, and Kate and Sue and Sandy, you are still taking your own steps. Kate, Sue, Sandy, Sarah, they're not making those steps, taking those steps for you. They're simply walking by your side, and that's encouraging, but you're still taking your own steps. Sue, I guess for me, the pull of the matrix, so to speak, gets stronger when I'm experiencing difficult days. But it helps to be aware of that and to use it to be more determined to go back to the awareness. Hello, Julia. That's exactly what it is. And the personal experience I want to share with you are not of that tremendous nature. Actually, they are of the simplest quality of them all. Every time when I find myself struggling, when I go down the thought spiral that tells me I'm not enough, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I do not try to find solution and try harder. No, I learn that in the moments when you struggle the most effective way is to stop and move away from the matrix into awareness and look at what is happening to you from the distance of your awareness. Taking a seat in the audience and start observing the projection, the movie that is happening in front of your eyes. And without a miss, that's my personal story, I feel relief. I feel relief. In the same way, I feel relief. To give you an example, when you go to the movie, a very good one, and you look at the screen and you are so involved and you're experiencing all the emotions and you cry, you laugh, you experience all the intensity of spectrum of emotions. But when you, for a second, you realize, actually that's not me on the screen, that's just a movie. That's the kind of relief you experience. Maybe let me use an example of a horror movie. When you're scared, when movies scared you, and you're scared to death, and you really feel it, you're living it. And then you realize, okay, it's just a movie. This is very much similar to coming back to the awareness from any experience that you have in your life, a difficult one in particular. Simply recognizing that you are not that experience. You are just in the midst of a movie, and you have the ability to come back and look at it. And it doesn't mean that the life goes away, as with the movie, you can walk out, but means that you gain such a valuable perspective that will help you eventually to overcome any challenge and an obstacle in your way, because it happened in the past. And then the obstacles and challenges are no longer life-threatening. They are simply, like on the movie, yet another adventure, yet another challenge that you consciously embrace and move through. Okay. So this is it. And now, let us take a moment to get out of the matrix of your own making and see what's going to happen. I will guide you through the experience. And when I say I will guide you, I'll be walking by your side. And you are welcome to join and start walking on your own and see what will happen to you. And if you see, oh my goodness, it's tough, take a look to the left and see for yourself. I'm there. You're not on your own. And hopefully that will give you courage to see a bit more. And if you don't like what you see on the left, take to the right. And there'll be Sue, Kate, Julia, Sandy, Karen, Nancy, Diane. They all will be there. Choose the one who you feel supported the most. Austin will be there too. If there will be more questions, I will answer them later. But I think it's important that we have a chance to experience it in our own terms, I'd say. And will we always, as a first line of support, we will have Peter Helen and his wonderful Forest Whisper. So get ready for the meditation. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear the music in the background. That'll be very helpful. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Laura. Thanks, Austin. Yeah. Thanks, Karen, Katie, Tosca. All right. It's really so wonderful to meditate with you here and jump out of the matrix for just a moment. Begin this meditation by taking one deep cleansing breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Allow your eyes to close and move within. See for yourself what happens on the screen of your current experience. For me, that usually means my feet comfortably resting on the floor, my hands in my lap, sitting upright, not because it's some special position that makes my life better, but it simply allows me to breathe more freely. And right here, in this very moment, you're choosing comfort as the more optimal path. And that very choice was already made in your awareness. And one may ask, oh well, that's simple. What about other challenges in my life? And I say, use the same principle. Whatever contributes to your well-being, move towards that direction. Even when you don't see the end of the world, when you don't see the end solution, start moving. And sooner or later you realize that solution was always there. There were others who came up with it on their own, and you taking your own steps towards it. And every step starts in awareness. Whether you're conscious of it or not, the underlying principle was always there. And now it is time to consciously recognize that. see for yourself that everything that you experience right now, your body, your mental state, your emotional state, can be looked at without fear by simply observing it. Experiencing it. And the next important question is, who is the experiencer? Is it your brain? Is it any of the muscles in your body? What are you really seeing right now? Who is really seeing this, experiencing this? And the path to discovering answer to this question is not through your intellect, but simply allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to see, to feel, to experience every aspect of this very moment. The fact that you feel your body, the fact that you're sitting on a chair, on a sofa, or lying down, or, as it may happen, the fact that your mind wandered and took you somewhere into the future, trying to anticipate what's going to happen, or that you connected with some situation in the past. Both of these happen in your awareness as well. So right now, once again, I invite you to allow yourself to experience and feel everything that comes your way, knowing that you have the choice of staying aware of what is happening to you. But that what is happening to you does not define you. It's just an experience that will come and pass. What will stay the same is the awareness that you are on the fundamental level. Then the awareness that you always have been. And now it is up to you to embrace the choice of staying in. So I will allow you now to walk on your own, your very path, unique path that you choose. And I and others will be walking by your side. And I will bring you back when the time is up. And now, with the same awareness, move towards your physical senses that define sensations, perceptions of this physical world. Recognize vision, hearing, smell, taste, touch, in whichever way you choose. Choose it consciously. And when you wish to change the direction of your awareness, make another choice. And I want to believe that in this very moment, these are not difficult choices. Simply moving smoothly from one facet of your experience to another. And recognize that with training, you can use this very ability to move in or through any experience. Every experience is simply a combination of many small choices. Some of them happen automatically, but some of them happen consciously. And you choose for yourself what suits better your circumstances, the autopilot or the conscious awareness. Before we conclude, I want to invite you to consider another choice. And this one is to express your gratitude for the very fact that you are here, for the effort that you made to perhaps understand yourself a little bit better, the nature of your reality. And on my part, I want to give you my thanks for being here with me, for walking by my side, that made this meditation, this experience unique. Thank you. And now, let's finish as we started by taking one deep conscious breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And in your own time, open your eyes and welcome back. Thank you for meditating with me. May I ask you, in one word or two, what shifted in this meditation for you? Kathleen, change is the only constant in life. You can choose many of these changes. Just a person attempting to make my choices with autopilot off. Mahalo. And mahalo to you, Kathleen. Thank you. Thank you, Tosca. Thank you, Carmela. So For me, the first word that came to my mind, the shift, was softness or soft. For Sandy, peaceful. Austin, open. Kid is grateful for the platform, and so am I. Diane, just reminding myself that I'm okay right here, right now, in this present moment. A beautiful discovery. It's not something that you learn, it's something that you discover. Thank you for sharing, Diane. Tosca, thank you for being here. For Anne, it's gratitude. For Karen, relaxing. For Carmel, I'm more in control of my emotions. Michael, feeling very small and quiet. Susie, calm. Thank you, Katie. Sue, pilot. I'm the pilot of my own life and can choose the direction that's for my well-being. That is very true. Another wonderful discovery. It's not a teaching, it's a discovery. Thank you so much, V, for your support. I think we came to an hour, and we came to hundreds of the attendants during our session. Thank you so much for being here. Even if you join at the very end, I want to invite you to continue on the path of awareness and see for yourself why training yourself in awareness, and training yourself in awareness is simply being in awareness. There's no other training than being in awareness, recognizing this very moment, everything that it happens from the perspective of the awareness that you are. And we will continue next week in the same place, the same time. For those of you who wish to rewatch some of those experiences, maybe you missed something, I post all the sessions on my YouTube channel. So you can listen in bits and pieces or all of them there. I also want to invite you to go to my profile. I'm just posting it right now. If you wish to be notified on the meditations I publish, courses, or simply being notified that there's a next upcoming event, so you can join if you wish. And this is the best way to do it. I just posted it. Just go to my profile and allow yourself to be notified. I promise there are very brief and infrequent notifications. Basically, new meditation, new course, new live event. I think that's it. So the meditation I try to publish obviously as often as possible, so you can have something to choose from depending on your experience, depending on your life circumstances, how to approach the awareness, make the right choice for yourself. And this is the way to be notified. Karen, peace to you too, and peace to all of you. Have a pleasant night, restful night, a wonderful day, wherever you are. I will leave you with Peter Helen and his wonderful music. Look forward to seeing you next time there.